Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fort's Comic News, episode 269. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside the future presidential candidate known as Mike.
Nice. When you said 269, I really wanted to interrupt you and go, nice, but I waited. I held my tongue.
I was thinking about it all week. Do I call it 200 and nice? Or is that too internet-y?
No, that's just the right amount of internet. Welcome, everybody. We do have a special guest for the two nice episode 269. No, we have Brian Shermer on today. We're going to talk about his awesome book, Quest Aside, with Vault Comics. I read it last week. Chris got me into it. It was it's a fun read, especially if you're a D&D fan. There's a lot of cool little nuggets all over. Even just looking at the art, it's a fantasy. It's Cheers. It's Cheers in a fantasy realm, basically, and that's well, you'll look forward to that. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, really dig this book. I mean, Vault Comics, they do great stuff. So
yeah, they're killing it. And Corona is trying to kill me. I do have COVID right now, so if I'm a little sounding weird or just low energy, there's a reason for that. It's I think the coronavirus is trying to stop me from getting to my 30th birthday, but I will prevail.
Oh, you will make it.
I will get there. I will get there.
A lot of money in new merch. Like,
yeah.
You have to make it.
Chris and I are working on a lot of new marketing things, and if I don't pull through, it's going to be in the red. Merchandising.
So I mean, we can kind of talk about it. Mike saw the first two new shirts they're going to launch. Yep. He saw roughs for the third new shirt we're going to launch.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in talks for two more that we might be launching. So everybody look forward to new merch.
Yeah, new merch. I think Chris and I are working with an artist on doing some cool art, and we've gotten some of the preliminary stuff, and it's spicy meatball. Please forgive my awful Italian accent there, but yeah, it's sick.
I hope everybody's gonna like it. We just saw pencils. I just saw roughs, and I was like, this dude. I told him, I gave him a paragraph of what I wanted, and he took my gibberish and made something awesome.
Yeah.
And each time when he's like, so anything you want me to change? I'm like, well, let me see if Mike wants to change anything. So I sent it to Mike, and then he says the same thing I think, which is like, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's beyond my expectations. Honestly, Chris, that's the type of artist you want in your next issue. That goes above and beyond.
Yes.
Yeah. Great stuff. So yeah, once everything drops and everything's settled, we'll be plugging the artist for sure. But once we get a handle on everything, and look forward to that. So
yeah, I'm aiming for 4th of July to do the first drop. At least get 3 new shirts up.
Mm-hmm.
And there might be a reason why it's 4th of July, everybody.
Yeah,
you'll just have to see and find out.
Yep.
I bought something cool this week.
Yeah, what'd you buy?
So, do you know Walter Flanagan?
Yes, I did see you tweet about this. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, and so he's got a new book with Blue Juice Comics called Knights of the Fifth Dimension. And actually, it's not even out yet.
Okay.
So he finished it. Blue Juice has been like really pushing this. So like actually a year ago, I have a signed copy of the first issue.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. It was some Comic-Con exclusive.
Okay.
And it's finally going to come out this month or next month. But for his podcast, Tell 'em Steve Dave, they did a trade just for the listeners. And it's even like they're big Kiss fans, so it's like they put the writer and artist blood into the ink and everything.
Oh boy,
like that kind of thing. But yeah, Knights of the Fifth Dimension with this really cool looking cover, and then he even drew a sketch in there, which you can't really see on this, but
yeah,
you
it's
can
on your Twitter though. Yeah, it was a really cool sketch.
So I'm really excited to read it. Like, he got a new whoever's doing the colors for him. Like, he needs to work with all the time because his art pops with this colorist. It's really great. So I'm excited to read this.
Cool, man. It's always cool when you can get something exclusive like that.
Yeah.
It's really cool. What have I've just been reading a lot of comics, watching a lot of things. We'll talk about Obi-Wan and the boys.
Let me ask you up front, because it's not on the news thing. Did you watch Miss Marvel?
No, because I will say this. I pulled it up. We were looking for something to watch last night, and I pulled up Disney Plus, and Miss Marvel is up, and I was like, "Can we just click on that to see if it's streaming?" And it is. Miss Marvel is streaming now. Everybody, kind of weird how it just like silently was released.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Doesn't give me a whole lot of faith, especially when you.
Yeah.
Especially when like, let's drop this new Marvel thing while the new Star Wars thing is going on.
Yeah.
I literally sat down after Obi-Wan, and we'll talk more about Obi-Wan later, but I watched the trailer that was on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm going to watch it because I have to at least give it a shot.
Yep.
But God, does this not look interesting?
Yeah. And I think they're trying to bury it. I don't know. I don't want to get too much into it between like the whole Disney thing and, you know, the first like Muslim American hero, and China has a grip on Disney and all that stuff. So I don't know if it's political reasons they kind of just put it there and didn't advertise it, you know, or anything like that. Who knows? But it did look pretty bad when I watched the trailer.
It's, you know what it is at the end of the day? It's something I keep coming back to. It looks like a teenage drama show. And
it looks like a Disney Channel show. Drama. Like it looks like a show that belongs on Disney Channel.
Yeah. And I'm too old and I'm too curmudgeonly, and I can't do that shit.
Yeah, it's not made for us, Chris. I will watch Paper Girls when it comes out.
But I will try it. I'm gonna promise everybody this week I will watch 2 episodes and give my honest opinion of the first 2 episodes next week. And
all right,
we'll see.
We heard it here first. Okay, Netflix announced during its annual Geeked Week event. Had no idea that was even a friggin' thing.
Neither did anyone else until this week.
Yeah, they're like, it's the annual Geeked Week, and they're like, you guys have never talked about this before. Let's be honest. Masters of the Universe is returning alongside Kevin Smith and the crew. Awesome. This is great news. New series will continue after the events of the Revelation, and is now titled Masters of the Universe Revolution. I'm glad they're letting Kevin pick the titles of these shows. He's like, let's go with another R. No, I really, jokes aside, I really like this series. I thought the music is epic. The voice acting is superb. The story was really good. You know, regardless of what all the internet trolls like to scream into the ether about. I think it's a really good show, and it's obviously Netflix sees something if they're bringing it back. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I adored that show. It was beyond shocking that it's like one of my favorite things on Netflix, and I'm down for more. Like, keep them coming.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what this revolution is. Maybe democracy is coming to the He-Man universe.
Oh God. Wait, you mean that you can't just rule because you're a man in tights with big muscles? That's not how
Wasn't there a king and queen in He-Man? I don't know.
Yeah, there was.
I only watched the one show.
Yeah. Or there's the dude, the robot eye dude, where they like worship like technology. I like that. Those guys are pretty cool. Okay, let's talk about Fistor. Yeah, Fistor. I fisted them all, He-Man. Obi-Wan episode 4. Right off the bat, I don't get the whole like 50 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 30-minute episode. That was a little disappointing to see straight from the get-go, Disney. I will say, especially the limited series, and especially in that 30 minutes to only have like 5 minutes of cool lightsaber action at the end. Really stretching me thin here. Like, so like the show's great and all, but like if we only have so much limited time, we need to really get those lightsabers moving a little sooner. Yeah, I think overall, I don't know how much like is really explored in this episode. We do see Obi-Wan fight some stormtroopers, which is cool. I believe I don't know if they say it in this episode, but like Leia's captured, and they're going to this facility where they're building something. I believe they're building the Death Star, right? Is that what we're assuming? I don't know if they ever say it.
That's what I took it as, because they're building some sort of new base. Yeah, so Death Star makes sense.
Yeah, and that would lead into the show. Or they're making the show about the building of the Death Star, so I'm sure that's how they're going to connect all that. But yeah, so he saves her. Overall, I think not my favorite episode. What did you think?
It was a good episode. It wasn't my favorite either, but it had great moments. I liked the Jedi prison. That's something that if you played...
oh, yeah.
What was the recent Star Wars game?
Fallen Order.
Yeah, if you played that, like you've walked through that in the video game. Some of the cameos in there were great, like characters we've seen from Clone Wars and other things. I did think it was a little goofy that like Obi-Wan's big plan to sneak Leia onto a ship on a dock full of stormtroopers is like, I'll just put my coat around her and nobody will notice.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like that was, they didn't even take a second to think that one through.
Yeah, no way. Yeah. Yeah,
but that sequence is cool when like the A-wing comes down and starts blasting.
Mm-hmm.
I liked where the episode went. I wanted more, and I'm excited for next week to get more.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, we're almost done with it, right? A couple more episodes, few more episodes,
2 more, I believe. And I'll just say this: with each passing episode, I grow to love the little girl that plays Leia more and more every episode. Like she's just so good.
Yeah, she is really good. Yeah.
Like.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see.
And I learned a new Star Wars tidbit this week.
What's that?
The little droid that the little girl has.
Yeah.
What was it, Lola?
Uh-huh.
That's actually the name of a parakeet that Carrie Fisher had growing up.
Oh, okay. Cool. Fun little fact for all you Star Wars fans. That is pretty cool.
I'm learning new Star Wars fun facts every week with the show.
Wow. Great. I'm happy. Happy for you. The Boys episode 4. Man, this show's wild. This is the episode where we finally get to see the the elephant in the room is the giant dildo fight scene. I can't believe they made something so absurd and so serious at the same time, because like I can't think of her name.
Mika
sees herself as a monster, and tries to rescue these like prostitutes while she kills all these dudes with dildos, and then like, you know, you try not to laugh because she feels bad, but it's a pretty hilarious scene how she's killing all these guys with these, not just dildos, they're like all different dildos related to the Dawn of the Seven. So they're Justice League dildos. And then at the same token, they have like the whole scene where they're breaking Soldier Boy out of this prison cell. They find out that Soldier Boy, and there's a hamster that's souped up, super powered hamster that kills a guy. Yeah, there's some crazy shit happening in this episode. And then Huey, the whole I wasn't expecting her friend to die so suddenly. So like I don't. It's all up to pretty much Huey and the boys to save Starlight because I mean, like Homelander has just gone off the deep end, and he was like aware of the plan of like the heroes trying to turn their backs on him and like kill him. So
yeah, so they announced they're doing season 4 now, and it feels like Homelander's at the point where he needs to die.
Yeah, right.
Like, there's no turning back from. Or I guess they could go further with Homelander, but like, how long can we keep Starlight in the 7 is my question, and it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in where they go with that. The one thing I don't like was they're making Butcher like too much of an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see how his actions so far can be forgiven. At least from a personal standpoint. Like, if I was Frenchie and Mika and somebody treated me like that, it would be like, I would do exactly what their plan is, which is like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm done.
Yeah, so, you're right, too. I don't know how he's going to get those people. Like, the things that we're having in this episode is like, how is he going to get him to stay? How is he going to get MM to stay? Because the whole Soldier Boy thing, like, the big change needs to happen for Homelander, and a big change needs to happen for Butcher. So something's going to happen in the next episode, I think. I don't think we can keep dragging it along. Like, you know, these guys are two big players, and they're both being assholes, and like either they're going to do something like kill someone, or someone's going to kill them, or like, you know, they're going to disband the boys. I don't know.
I could see MM sticking around now, especially now that Soldier Boy's alive and out there.
Yeah.
He has the motivation to stay and like want to use Butcher's brutality to finish the job.
Mm-hmm.
And Butcher actually treats him with like humanity, where like he doesn't give the other two the humanity that he gives MM, which is what bothers me. Right. Like they're not tools. They're not pawns. That's not how they're supposed to be treated. So I'm really curious on how they flip that script, because there's only so long where I can sit there and be like, why are they still here? Like, you got to give me a reason why they're still here, because it doesn't make any sense at a certain point.
I'm sure, like, if we do see it happen in an episode, it's got to happen like next episode. I mean,
yeah.
She's almost dead. I mean, she's almost dead, or supposedly dying. So it's like, how do you come back from that?
Yeah, but I do like that now the 7's got more of a less of an antagonistic vibe, and more of the vibe I got from the comics, which was that's the wrong way to put it, because they're still antagonistic, but they're not as like up front, like hate each other. They're more like behind each other's backs, trying to score points. Yeah, with the big guy. Yeah. So it's a good episode. You know, Butcher and the crew go to Russia.
Yep.
So I'm liking this season so far.
Yeah,
and some of the brutality's been off the charts, man.
Oh yeah, it's been crazy. That's for sure. They've overdone it this season for sure. Yeah, we'll see how the next couple episodes go. We get the reveal with Soldier Boy. It's like, I just want to see more of him, but then we just see him leave. So
I get a feeling he's a big part of the next episode.
Oh yeah. Movie news: Warner Brothers has announced that they have come to terms with Joaquin Phoenix for a sequel, The Joker, and they probably gave him a buttload of cash to do that. They also
no, they did give him a buttload.
Oh, they did? Oh, it's confirmed? Yeah.
He flat out said that's the only reason he came back.
Todd Phillips is directing again. Also, there's some rumors now. These were happening before, like, when I initially talked about a sequel, that, like, now this is just rumors that Lady Gaga would be involved as, like, the co-star or something. And I don't know who else she could be playing besides Harley Quinn. I mean, I don't know. Lady Gaga's got a great. She's a great actress, very talented singer. So I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with her if they do use her. But that was just one of the rumors I heard. Um, it's if he's only coming back for a boatload of cash. Hopefully, he can still act the part that he wants to do it. Yeah, but that's exciting. I mean, I like the first one. It wasn't anything spectacular, though. I will watch the second one.
I was kind of on the other side of you in the first one. Like, I didn't really care for it, and as far as that rumor goes, that just gives me another reason not to want to watch it. But I have differing opinions on Lady Gaga than you do.
Well, it's not just me. Like, if she's in the movie, I'm sure the movie could make almost $1 billion just for people going to see it because she's in it, you know? So it's like...
Yeah, because I'm the minority on this one. Yeah. But that's fine. But I thought the first one was one of the most overrated things I've seen in a long time. I'm like, this isn't anything all that great, I thought, personally. And I don't understand justification for a sequel, but they've been trying to get the sequel done since it made all that money. Yeah. And now they're going to do it. We'll see what happens.
Regardless of Lady Gaga, I think if you have a sequel for this movie, you need another big character or main character. Like, you need something for him to play off of. You can't just have him going around on his own again, you know, for another movie. Like, there has to be something else there.
Yeah, it runs into two issues for me. One is if you bring in, no matter who it is, if you bring in Harley Quinn, it's too soon. That means he somehow got arrested and was in Arkham, and so the whole movie's like based in Arkham essentially, or there's some sort of time jump, and she's already Harley Quinn. But the other problem that this movie's going to have for me is unless there's a huge time jump, which then we're dealing with like old man Joker, is we run into the same problem that Gotham had for me and Smallville had, where it's like all the villains are so much older than the hero. Because in that movie, we saw the death of Thomas and Martha. So Bruce is a little kid.
Right, yeah.
So you would have to jump, 10 years, 15 years to make him Batman?
Well, I mean, this is a whole Elseworld story too, so we don't know if they would even follow any of those rules, right? They could do whatever they want.
Yeah, you can do your own thing. But
it has to make sense, and you need like a grip to, like, yeah, he's in the Joker costume at the end of the movie, and he's going to be in the Joker costume this movie, so like, but if he's just running around killing people, it's like, okay, there's got to be a reason to have him in a sequel, you know?
In the sequel, he has to butt heads with somebody. Who's he going to butt heads with?
Yeah, right. Yeah, besides like the cops. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want it just to be. I mean, actually, if it was just Bullock, that'd be fantastic. But
yeah.
I'll say that if they hire Bullock and I see one screenshot of a fat actor with a donut, I'll take back everything and I'll go see this just because I want to see a live action Bullock.
There you go. We did get a Bullock, I think, in Batman '89.
They'll name a random cop Bullock.
Yeah.
Just so like people like me will be like, oh my god, it's Bullock.
Yeah.
But it's like
some random fat cop.
I want to see the asshole with a heart of gold glutton Bullock that I got in the cartoon, where like he hates Batman, or if we don't have a Batman, obviously, but he hates Batman, but at the same time, like he's willing to work with him because he's still a good guy, even though you kind of think he's a bad guy. So yeah,
I guess we'll see. Well, either way, Joaquin Phoenix is going to come out on top with all that money. For a long time,
$500,000, or $500 million for.
half. I was I was gonna say, geez, yeah, they made easily, right, for an R-rated movie is crazy. For a long time, Marvel Studios has been trying to put together the Thunderbolts for an MCU appearance. Now it looks like it's a reality. Kevin Feige and crew have signed Jake Schreier to direct and Eric Pearson to write the script. It's going to begin production next summer, so we're getting the Thunderbolts to the MCU. Just without Thunderbolt Ross, because I believe he's dead. Right?
But he's not part of the Thunderbolts, technically.
Oh, okay. So that's cool if you're a Thunderbolts fan.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll do the big reveal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 20-30-year-old comic by now, so if you haven't read it, I mean, that's your fault. But like the big reveal in the original Thunderbolts was that there was this new group of heroes, and we find out that it's the villains, and that the main guy who's like this trying to be this big hero is Norman Osborn, like Green Goblin.
Yeah.
So we'll probably won't do Green Goblin because Spider-Man. So who will that be? Will they do it that way, or will they just jump into this Will they just make it a Suicide Squad-esque thing?
Yeah, that's probably what they're going to do. Yep.
Yeah. But I'm down because that means more Zemo.
Yep. There you go. Yeah, so they're, and I don't see it on here, but the Black Adam trailer released this week or last week. Did you check it out?
Yes, I forgot about that, but yeah.
So it's funny that you, just because you said like Thunderbolts could be like a Suicide Squad, because like the Black Adam movie looks a lot like Avengers to me, or it looks like not even just Avengers. It just looks like it has the like lens of a Marvel movie. I think the trailer was really good. I'm still, like the Rock, like talking about the history of Black Adam and stuff was fine. I don't really know how they're going to fit the humor in with how serious his character is. So I guess we'll see how that works out. Dr. Fate looks amazing. I hope he has a lot of screen time. And then we get to see, the other JSA like Atom Smasher, Cyclone, right? Hawkman is in it. So yeah, I'm excited. I thought it was a good trailer. It's kind of like, and they do explore the whole like, are you going to be a hero or are you going to like do your own thing? And I think that's pretty cool. So I do like where they're going.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. The Rock actually showed some acting chops, which he's not known for.
Right.
And this is someone who loves The Rock, so that's not a slam.
No, it's not.
I also am curious because there's one scene in there where we see kind of a greenish blur in the sky.
Oh.
Is there a Green Lantern in this movie?
Oh.
And
like an Alan Scott?
Is it Alan Scott? Yeah.
Oh my god. That'd be the best kept secret. I think the green blur, is that supposed to be Cyclone?
I didn't know Cyclone was a part of this movie, so maybe.
Yeah, she is part of the movie. So
if so, that's a huge disappointment. I'd rather have Alan Scott.
Yeah.
No offense to her or whoever's playing her.
She was like one of the ones I didn't really care about in the JSA, right? Cyclone was like, she just turns into a tornado.
Well, it's like, give me the full roster.
Yeah.
Give me the weird looking Flash.
Dr. Midnight. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no Jay Garrick. Maybe at the end, like the post credits, like, oh, my name's Jay Garrick. Roll credits. They'll do something like that.
The post credits. If this doesn't set up a JSA movie, like somebody needs to get fired at Warner Brothers.
Yeah. It almost looks like a JSA movie, to be honest. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I thought the trailer was really hype.
Looks cool.
Yeah. But let's jump to this interview with Mr. Brian Shermer, and we'll see everybody on the other side.
Welcome back to the other side.
The other side. So check out Questicide on the other side. Issue 2 is out. Issue 3 is out next month. Give it your money.
Good stuff.
It's really good stuff. Comic news. DC. This is like the thing that broke the internet this week. I know everybody hates that saying. I even hate that saying, so I don't know why I said it. DC is expanding the DC horror line with the most unexpected way this fall. It's a 6-issue series titled Sergeant Rock versus Army of the Dead, and they even tapped the infamous Bruce Campbell to write it, with Eduardo Risso on the art. So Bruce Campbell's writing a comic, everybody, about one of the lamest characters next to Commandy in the DC universe, if you ask me personally. But I will be picking the hell up out of this book, and probably a lot of the variant covers for this book, because the variants have like Gary. I mean, you got like Gary Frank, you got Frank Quitely, all these big names doing the art for this like book about Sergeant Rock. But Bruce Campbell's writing it, so hell yeah, I'm on board.
I like Sergeant Rock. I'm gonna say it.
oh man, really?
See, when you said lamest character next to Commandy, you pronounced the Flash wrong.
Oh boy. Okay. All right then.
No, I enjoy Sergeant Rock when he shows up. I'm not going to be one of these guys like, I've read everything he's in.
Right.
No, like, but when he shows up, I really like him. And dude, this is basically, I mean, from the way I took it, because Sergeant Rock is a World War II character.
Yeah.
This is Bruce Campbell doing Nazi zombies.
Oh yeah, because the cover, there's Nazi zombies on the cover. Yeah.
I'm in. Like, that's been a video game trope forever. It's been a video game joke forever. And it's just you don't have to try that hard with Nazi zombies. Hitler wanted to do some weird shit. He created zombies. Boom, Nazi zombies. Just do that, and it's cool, and it's fun, and I like it. So I'm down for this.
A lot of comic book science. Yeah, I'm definitely checking it out. I'll be checking this out too. Ahoy Comics just announced a new sci-fi adventure hitting the shelves this September, titled Highball. Highball is a comedy adventure about a drunk space pilot trying to save the galaxy one pint at a time. It's going to be written by Stuart Moore, art by Fred Harper. Sounds awesome. I'm sold.
Yeah, I might actually pick this one month to month as opposed to trade weight it like I have been.
Yeah. This is it's Han Solo. It's the story of Han Solo.
It's Han Solo, but drunk, and it's Stuart Moore, who did like my favorite Ahoy book and Captain Ginger. So
Yep.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
Dark Horse Comics announced that David Duchovny is co-writing a new graphic novel alongside Philip Savy called Kepler. Savy will also be drawing the comic as well. Kepler is about a planet called Kepler, where Homo sapiens go extinct and another hominid species take over. The other species thrives until Homo sapiens return and ruin everything. Kepler will hit comic shelves this fall. So David Duchovny, well-known actor for X-Files, obviously. Oh my god, that other show where he was a failing writer,
where he played himself, Californication.
That show was amazing. Yeah. That show was amazing. Don't know him for writing comics. This graphic novel doesn't sound too interesting to me. Don't know if I'll be checking it out, but
it was also described as like Planet of the Apes light. I am one of the biggest proponents of my age group of Planet of the Apes, but I don't know if I need a different Planet of the Apes.
No.
So it'll depend on a lot. I like Philip Savy, former guest of the show, and like I said, I like Duchovny and stuff he's done. Like, what was that's alien comedy he did?
I didn't even know he wrote one.
He didn't. I didn't write it. He was in. It was a movie he did, and they killed the aliens with head and shoulders. I wish I could remember the name of it.
It's not. It's not. Mars Attacks.
No. But anyways, I like that movie too. So
okay. I didn't even know.
I like him, but I don't know if I want to like check out his
writing,
his comic book.
Yeah.
The movie I'm thinking of is Evolution.
Oh, Evolution. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
It's got Sean William Scott and Orlando Jones in it.
Yeah, that is a 2000s movie for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about what we read this week. Basically, I'm going to skim through what I read until we get to Flashpoint and Dark Crisis.
which we have to read or we have to talk about together because theories abound are coming.
So, what did I read this week? Swamp Thing number 13. This one's really good. Basically, the Parliament of Trees find a new avatar, and it's his brother because his brother, he's being very passive as Swamp Thing, and they want someone that's going to do action. But one of the Parliaments of Green sides with the current Swamp Thing and is like, I think they're going down a wrong path. And then Green Lantern shows up and says he needs help because there's some aliens that have showed up, and he thinks it's related to like all the bad stuff going on with Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing's still really good. This was Rogue Sun issue 4, still really good. We find out that the mother is a hero as well, so that was interesting. There's Radiant Red. It's really good if you like the Radiant Black series. This one gets a little more involved with like the other Radiant Black. Like Nathan shows up and they have like a conversation and stuff like that about like how to use their powers and talking to like the inner like alien thing. Really good issue. This was Shadow War Omega number 1. This was like the end of Shadow War. Basically, this just tells you that Deathstroke died and comes back to life, so then he can show up in Dark Crisis because he wants to kill the Teen Titans. He gets resurrected in the Lazarus Pit. The Closet number 1. This was a James Tynion book, a horror book from Image. It was really good. Pretty simple concept. There's a monster in his closet. The parents don't believe him. The parents, are like moving and stuff. So there's all this other drama involved, but still really good, creepy first issue. So I'll be checking out the next one. I thought I had a nice little grip at the end. Basically, the monster is like, okay, I'm leaving and I'm going to the new house that you're moving to, which is pretty fucked up. Justice Warriors number 1, Ahoy Comics. This was a fun book. If I had to relate it to anything, I would say it's like God Hates Astronauts kind of. Basically, there's a city with a bubble, and the bubble's all perfect on the inside, and the cops keep the mutants on the outskirts of the city in control. And there's a lot of like on the nose stuff. Like basically, he's like a troll cop, and his partner gets killed by an automatic driving bus. So they get he gets put with another partner who's literally just like a piece of shit. Like he's a poop emoji for a face because he comes from like the dumps. That's where he was raised. So there's a lot of like wacky characters like that. And it's just a crazy story, but it's a lot of fun. If you're looking for a fun book, and that's kind of like, I say it's like God Hates Astronauts because every character is like a weird looking like monster and stuff like that. I think it's pretty good. I'll be keeping up with it. And then, so I had some other books I didn't read this week, but Aquaman Andromeda by Ram V. That was a solid first issue. I'll keep up with it. Yeah, there you go. It's him writing The Abyss, pretty much. The Abyss, and then Aquaman shows up. There's something like sentient living in the ocean. There's a bunch of scientists involved. The colors are really cool. The art is really cool for this book. It's some top secret government mission to go see this, and now Aquaman's involved.
I took it as there was a alien life form that came to Earth, and it's stuck in the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I love the way they drew Aquaman in this one. I love the costume. Like, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it is cool. I do like that too.
Everything about it. It kind of reminds me of the first Alien movie. A little bit. Just underwater.
I mean, have you ever seen Abyss? The Abyss?
No.
This is pretty much... That's why I said it's The Abyss, because it's like scientists going down because they see there's like something extraterrestrial underwater, and they're like going down to explore it. Like that's pretty much the premise
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood what you were saying then. I thought you meant the Abyss was something else. So, yeah.
No,
then you're right,
that's the premise of the Abyss, is like there's an alien life form underwater, and, hijinks ensue. Bad shit starts happening when they go try to figure it out. So,
okay.
Yeah. But either way, I think it's an interesting idea to have that with Aquaman around, because, Aquaman wants to figure out what's going on, too.
I was kind of thinking, too, when the Kraken shows up.
Yeah.
At least we're made to assume it's the Kraken. I was like, oh my god, did Starro fall down? And that's what they found under there. And
that'd be funny. Yeah. Yeah, I think overall it was good. I'm going to be checking it out. Ongoing for now. So
yeah.
And then I had Batman 124. That was just wrapping up the whole Abyss actual character Abyss story, unrelated to the movie. That's okay. I know they're starting a new. I think 125 starts a whole new story arc, so I'm looking forward to that.
Chip Zdarsky's coming on.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm ready to talk about Flashpoint and Dark Crisis. I don't know if you read anything else.
Oh yeah, so we talked about a lot in the interview, but Quest Side number 2 came out this week. It was a really great issue. Batman Beyond number 3 was this week.
Yeah, I gotta read that.
Basically, It was Batman kind of trying to learn to live without the suit. He finds out that the guy who's taking over Wayne Powers Corporation is basically buying the police and is going to run it. And he has to try to make contacts with the good cops in town and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of I don't know. It felt a little bit like trying to turn Terry into Bruce, but I'll give it the rest of the story to figure itself out. But yeah. Thor 26 was Hulk, Thor, and Hulk fighting the whole time. So not a ton happened, but it was a cool fight sequence.
Mm.
A whole new All Different Savage Avengers number 2 was everybody was back in time, and they all basically get arrested and put into this prison in Conan's age, and then the Deathlok comes for them, and they have a fight with him, and they come together as a team kind of issue. So it was really good, but that's the gist of what happened. And then I read Monkey Prince number 5. So Monkey Prince is now in Aquaman's area, and he has to. Not only does he have this creature that's the daughter of someone from the trench coming after him, but he has to kind of overcome his fear of water. And I like how he's going to a different town now, and not only dealing with the different major villains, but obviously if we're in Amnesty Bay, we're going to get Aquaman at some point. So I kind of hope that that's what Gene Luen Yang's doing, is sending him to different towns to interact with different heroes to kind of give them a jump start.
Yep.
So I'm really liking that one. Dark Knights of Steel number 7 was this week. And did you read that one?
Yeah, no, I haven't read all those books you just said. I have to read still, like Monkey Prince and Dark Knights of Steel. I haven't read that yet.
I won't spoil too much, but it takes up where it picks up from the last issue, and we meet the Teen Titans. We kind of get the idea that the war is still coming. Beast Boy transforms into a really cool creature, and Bruce kind of gets his confidence to do the right thing. And I really like how they used Ma and Pa Kent in this, how they're different from the main universe and what they do. Such a phenomenal book, and
it's really good.
If anyone's reading it, what the part where Beast Boy finally transforms and helps Bruce out is awesome, especially if you're a fantasy fan. That's all I'll say. And then the last one I have before we get into the big books was The Ward number 1. This was the Kevin Scott book at Dark Horse. The basic premise here is that there's a hospital that's in it's almost Harry Potter where they have to go to this. They run into this building, and the building kind of splits magically for them, and they go basically through this portal to go to a different land. And it's a hospital for creatures, like magical creatures, like minotaurs and all that stuff. And like,
that's cool.
One of the doctors is a yokai. Another doctor can like split into two through a magical ability, like all this different stuff. And it's just kind of what goes on in that hospital. So it was really cool, and I'll check out the second issue. I think it was worth checking out.
Cool. Yeah, it does sound cool. I'll have to check
now
it out.
For the big Crisis stuff.
Yeah, so I think we'll just talk about Dark Crisis #1 first, because nothing really crazy happens in that one.
Yeah.
Some heroes think that we shouldn't believe what Black Adam's saying, that the Justice League are dead, because he's the only one to come back and he's an anti-hero. So then Superboy, well, the new Superman, I guess now, is going around trying to recruit everyone for a new Justice League. So that's pretty much a lot of the story is him going around asking like heroes and anti-heroes. And he kind of assembles this new Justice League that has like Harley Quinn, Killer Frost, Supergirl, Dr. Light, Robin, Blue Beetle, both Blue Beetles, Frankenstein, Jackson, and Booster Gold. But you have Nightwing. Nightwing needs to be the head of the Justice League, is what they're saying, but he's in charge of the Titans Tower. Well, Titans Tower is under attack because in the Shadow War book, Deathstroke's dead. He comes back from the Lazarus Pit. He says, "I have a contract to finish." He's talking about the contract to kill the Teen Titans. He shows up and they attack Titans Tower, and he shoots. So we think he shoots Beast Boy in the head, which is pretty cool. And then we get a glimpse of the Multiverse -2, which is, I believe, the dark multiverse, where Pariah is saying that I will use the deaths of the Justice League to destroy the multiverse. So it's like all the Justice League screaming, and says something to that the he does mention something about like them believing Black Adam, so maybe Black Adam isn't telling the whole truth.
Yeah, the only thing I'll add is I did really like that Beast Boy moment. It was the way it's laid out in the paneling was really great, and I also really enjoyed that like half the book was Superman going around being like, "You should be in my new Justice League because you're just like Wonder Woman," and then Nubia, I think it is, just goes like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that," and then he goes to New York City to get the new Batman. He's like, "You should be in my Justice League," and because you're Batman, I'm Superman. And he's like, "Yeah, the last Batman that did that died, so I'm not going to do that." And
nobody wants
to get rejected by the A-listers.
Yeah, nobody wants to be in it. Okay, so now which we realized is tied into Dark Crisis is Flashpoint Beyond #2. A lot of stuff unfolding in this book. I really hope Jeff Johns hits the mark with this. Because he's setting up a lot of stuff here. Yeah, so we get Thomas Wayne still going around. I mean, we find out his casino was burned down. He's trying to figure out what has changed. Who he knows that someone is in the timeline that shouldn't be there. And then he hears about Psycho Pirate ending up at I think he's at Arkham, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And he finds Psycho Pirate, but he's hung himself, and he's trying to question whether or not it was actually him that hung himself. And there's a lot of things written down, like talking about like, I'm not the real Psycho Pirate, and like Bruce Wayne, I'm not the real Roger Hayden, and all this stuff. Like, what does that all mean? Like he and people just thought he was crazy and like going insane. And you kind of see the conversation between him and Harvey Dent's wife. I can't think of her name, but he like hands her one of the casino tokens, and it's scratched on the other side, so you can kind of tell that she's going to become Two-Face, because she smashes her face into the door, like goes crazy and like cuts her own face up, so she becomes the new she's going to become Two-Face, which is pretty cool. And then Batman takes to the streets, and this is kind of like where you see that he's gone off the deep end because he's just like enjoying snapping people's bones and like is about to kill someone.
Not just someone.
Captain
Boomerang.
Captain Boomerang. He's about to shoot Captain Boomerang in the head, which is to see Captain Boomerang like crying is pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
And then Superman stops him, and we haven't seen Superman in a while, like the Flashpoint Superman. And they don't. We just see him stop him. We don't see the whole conversation, but then we get back to the Batcave with Bruce and what we thought was a Time Lord in the last issue, which is a Time Lord, talking about this snow globe that he stole, and this watch, because the watch is related to what was the other watch?
Was it the button?
The Doomsday Clock? Doomsday Clock book, yeah. But he said that he stole this snow globe from someone, and they're going to come looking for it. And the Time Masters, like he stole it from Rip Hunter, but Rip Hunter took it from someone else, and the Time Masters aren't going to be happy that he did that. He also mentions the Divine Continuum from that blue-faced prodigy. I'm guessing the blue-faced prodigy is Dr. Manhattan. I would assume. Yeah, so I don't know what it all means, but it's somehow tied to the Dark Crisis, and I forget where they mentioned Dark Crisis, but
they mentioned the Dark Crisis is connected through Hypertime because that's why Psycho Pirate came to this timeline.
Okay,
was to escape a dark crisis, which we obviously know is the Dark Crisis.
Right. Yep.
Last we saw Manhattan, he had reformed himself as a small Clark Kent.
That's true.
And introduced himself to Man Pa, which I still hate, but
yeah, right.
So that'll be interesting too. I guess, I mean, Mike's already heard this, but I guess I'll just say my theory again.
Yeah, you talk about your theory,
yeah. So now they're connected, and throughout this book, we keep seeing that, like, one thing I really enjoyed was Thomas was, like, constantly acting as if this universe isn't real, which to him it isn't, so...
Right.
But that aside, he was constantly talking about how Bruce is a better Batman than him.
Yep.
And I get the feeling that this is kind of the retirement of Thomas as Batman. That at the end of this, like, this will end, it'll lead into whatever the finale for Dark Crisis is, to bring back Bruce and the Justice League. And then Thomas will, like, hang up his tights and go on. That's, like, the surface level. My, like, extreme far left prediction that I really want to happen, the more I think about it, is that after that, like, Thomas moves back in with Bruce and just becomes the new Alfred.
That'd be awesome. I would love that.
It would give it kind of a Batman Beyond vibe.
Yeah.
And
which would be
it would just be kind of a different... Even though Alfred acts as Bruce's father in many ways, it would still give it a different vibe where it's his actual father. And he's been Batman. So, like, I kind of hope that's what's going on, but that's kind of my left field thing.
No, I would love to see that, especially if it's like a Batman Beyond dynamic. I think that'd be sick.
Yeah. And that would kind of lead in too to, like, why Bruce does take Terry on later on, like, beyond the stupid backstory that came with Justice League Unlimited of, like, Terry's a clone of Bruce.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. But I thought, it was definitely a better issue. And I think it's interesting what they're trying to do. I just hope that Jeff Johns can tie it all up. You know, it's all excited, but I hope it, like, wraps up and makes sense.
I hope he sticks to landing. I hope the book comes out in a decent schedule. If it is connected to Dark Crisis, it will come out on a decent schedule. Like, they'll put me on the art to get it done before they delay it.
They also have a few writers. I didn't realize there's a few writers on Flashpoint.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people. There's like a laundry list of people because I think they were like this. If this is going to connect into our big thing, it has to come out. Like we can't wait 2 years for you and Gary Frank to get your shit together like we did last time.
Yeah, that won't work. Sorry.
But Mike, that was everything we read this week. So where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Fortress Ricker on Twitter. Where can they find you and or the show?
You can find me at Fortress Chris on Twitter, and you can find the show at FortressComics_ on Twitter or at FortressComicNews.com. Remember, everybody, to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below on the YouTube version of this, and to give us the 5-star review, whatever podcatcher you use. If you want to go the extra mile, there's Patreon at patreon.com/FortressComics. And everybody, keep your eyes open this month for new merch reveals.
New merch.
It's going to be awesome. I promise you. I'm really excited for it. So thank you all so much for listening and watching this week. And we'll see you all here next week.